Yeah, welcome back to the tutorial. From our previous video, we built a model of interest or our protein or our target protein. As you can see, the building model process has completed. Once you click on build from our previous video, it will take few minutes to read. After the reading, this is the output. Okay, this, remember, we didn't title our project. That is why it's what untitled what project. Okay, and remember we picked 5 models out of what the 50 that was what processed. So that is what we just built. The template we had was 50 and the models we built from them is what is just 5. Okay, these are the results. We will simply go through the result. From what you can see, the first one, this is model 3. Okay, this is model 3 instead of the model 1 we picked as the first one in the previous page. This is model 1. Okay, this, if you go down, this is model 5, is now the third one, and then this is model 4, the fourth one, and then lastly you have what, you have the model 2 as the fifth one. Okay, so this particular page or this particular building model process have tried to restructure the models, according to few properties that it deems what necessary. Okay, these properties we're going to go through them one after the other. If you look by the side here, this is the protein, okay, structure for this particular first model. If you go down and click on a different model, okay, this particular protein for that particular one will show. Okay, this is what I have for this particular one, whereas this is for this particular one. So these are the properties we look out for when we are talking about picking the best model out of these that have been built. Among these particular options, we have under here 3 different arrows. Okay, we have 3 different arrows. Remember, this is our oligo state, which is homodimer from there. This is the QME value. Okay, the quality estimate, quaternary quality estimate value, which is what 0.84 is fine. We'll say that 1 is the perfect word number. Okay, but from 1 down, anything 0.5 is still very close to 1, so it's still good for our model. If I click on this first arrow, okay, let me scroll this down. If I click on the first arrow, it will give me this. If I click on this is how it's bubbling, trying to get aligned with our target sequence. Don't worry, you get more of the explanation in the preview in the next days. Okay, so this is what can help you understand this better. One of it we have here is our Q value or our Z score value. Okay, we have our mean score value and our Z score value. I'll simply click on the Z score value. Of course, you can still see many other properties. Even the sequence identity is up to 61.84%. You can see the coverage, just like we explained in our previous video. But very worthy of importance here is what is this Z score value. So I will simply click on it. If you click on the Z-score value, it will bring out this for you. This is very, very, very important while modeling a protein and must be shown in your results, okay, or your write-up while putting your results together. Okay, from what I can see, this is the comparison with non-reductant set of what PDB structure. This star you can see here is my model. That's my target protein. So I'm estimating how is my target protein similar to this particular model or this particular protein that has a PDB structure or an X-ray crystallized structure already. I use what we call the Z-score value to estimate it. From what you can see, we have 3 different layers in this particular picture. We have the layer that is very, very faint, which is here. After this, you have a layer that is a bit thicker, and then towards the center, you have the thickest layer, very dark. Okay, we see from here that the lightest layer has what Z-score of what greater than 2, which is poor. Okay, then the second one, which is the second layer now, has a Z-score what less than what, okay, Z-score greater than 1 but less than what 2, which is still not that very good. It's still manageable but not that very good, except you don't have option. But the third one will have what the Z-score less than 1, okay, you can see the z-score less than 1, and that is where our target fell in. That's the darkest portion. As you can see, this is what the darkest portion. You can see that. So if your target or your model was able to be found in this particular z-score portion, okay, which is less than -1, is telling you that your protein or your target, your model, has very, very high similarity in identity with what? With the protein or with the model you are making use of here, okay, which already has a structure, which simply means you can what? Make use of such structure for your what? For your protein, or instead of your protein. Okay, so after this, by this, if I click on this, I'm going to download this particular image and keep it for my write-up later. So I'll click close this. Remember, this is for this particular first one. Okay, then we have other information this, so I can easily close this back. Okay, if I scroll up, this is what I have. If I scroll up to the structural assessment, I also need to see what the structural assessment of this particular model I picked is like. So I'll simply click on what? The structure. Okay, is trying to shoot out the structure. Okay, it's loading. Okay, my network is poor, but let me wait and allow it to load. Okay, it's still trying to load because of the network. Okay, it has loaded. It has loaded. It has loaded. Okay, it has loaded. It's still loading. Still loading. Okay, but from what we can see, already, it's still coming. Just a little time and it will be done. Okay. Okay, it's done. This is what we have. Okay. On the structural assessment, which is the model 3 we are picking now because of the properties we've seen. The first one is Ramachandran plot. Okay. You also need the Ramachandran plot for your what? For your write-up, because this will give a very, great information on what your model was like. Okay. So this is it. For what we can see, these little balls inside this plot is simply your amino acid for the particular protein, your target protein. And as you see, this thing falls within this particular structure. You can see 3 layers here: the faint yellow, green, the darker one, and the darkest one. Okay, the ability of your protein to be found within this, especially this first 2 region, okay, tells you that your protein is very similar to this particular target or this particular model. But once this protein is found outside here, okay, once this particular protein here is found outside here, it's telling you that what? This particular model is a poor one for your target protein. Okay, but from what we can see, this is very good. This is very good. The Ramachandran plot is very good. So I will simply what? Download this image also through this particular portion. Then lastly, if I go down here, I will see some more probability what? Result. Okay, among that is what? The Ramachandran favored plot. The Ramachandran favored is up to what? Up to 96.31%. Okay, which is very good. It has a very high what? Ramachandran favored what? Plot value or percentage. Okay, so with this, I can simply what? Make use of this my protein as what? As my target protein. Okay, this particular one as what? As my target protein, because it has met many of my what? My properties or factors, and they are good. So these are the information you can what? Search in for your